Imagine seeing a tank for the first time and laughing. That was the reaction many British officers had when the A-30 Challenger rolled into view during testing in 1943. It looked wrong. Too narrow. Too awkward. The turret seemed oversized. The hull looked stretched beyond its limits. Some officers dismissed it as a stopgap. Others thought it was simply a mistake on tracks. But hidden inside that strange-looking machine was a weapon so powerful that it could do something almost no British tank could do in 1944. Kill a Panther from over 1,000 meters away. And that single ability made the Challenger one of the most important tanks Britain fielded during the war. Because by 1943, British tank crews had a serious problem. German armor was getting tougher. The Tiger had already shocked Allied intelligence with its thick armor and deadly 88mm gun. Then came reports of the Panther, a faster, more modern tank protected by heavily sloped frontal armor. Suddenly, Britain's standard cruiser tanks looked outdated. The Cromwell was fast and reliable, but its 75mm gun struggled against German heavy armor. Even experienced crews knew that engaging a Panther head-on was often a losing battle. Britain needed something bigger. Something capable of punching through armor at ranges where crews could survive the return fire. The answer was the legendary 17-pounder. At the time, it was arguably the most powerful anti-tank gun in Allied service. Firing high-velocity armor-piercing rounds, it could penetrate armor that other Allied guns simply couldn't touch. There was just one problem. The gun was enormous. Its breech was too large. Its recoil was too violent. And no existing British cruiser tank turret could accommodate it. So engineers took the Cromwell and did something unusual. They stretched the hull, added an extra road wheel, designed an entirely new turret, removed equipment to make room for the massive ammunition, and created the Challenger. The result looked awkward. But appearances can be deceptive. The Challenger weighed over 30 tons and was powered by the same Rolls-Royce Meteor engine used in the Cromwell. Despite carrying the huge 17-pounder, it could still reach speeds of around 32 miles per hour. That meant it could keep pace with fast-moving armored formations while carrying a gun capable of destroying nearly anything Germany fielded. And that's where things get interesting. Because the Challenger wasn't designed to replace the Cromwell. It was designed to protect it. British units often paired one Challenger with several Cromwells. The Cromwells handled infantry, buildings, and lighter targets. The Challenger hunted tanks. If a Panther appeared on the battlefield, everyone suddenly cared a lot less about how silly the Challenger looked. The gun did the talking. And the gun was terrifying. A Panther crew could feel relatively safe against most British tank guns at long range. Against a Challenger, that confidence disappeared. The 17-pounder could punch through armor at distances where many German crews expected to be untouchable. That changed battlefield psychology. It forced German commanders to respect British armored units in ways they hadn't before. Of course, the Challenger wasn't perfect. Far from it. Its armor was thinner than crews wanted. Its height made it easier to spot. Early versions suffered track problems. And many crews complained that the vehicle felt awkward compared to the sleek Cromwell. Yet despite all those flaws, opinions slowly changed. Because when enemy tanks appeared, the Challenger repeatedly proved its value. During the fighting across France, Belgium, and the Netherlands, it became the long-range shield for British armored reconnaissance units. When Panthers emerged from forests, villages, or concealed positions, Challengers were often the first vehicles called forward. Find cover. Acquire the target. Fire first. That was the formula. And more often than not, it worked. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know where you're watching from. Now here's the twist. The Challenger was already becoming obsolete before most people even saw it in combat. A new tank was coming. The Comet. It carried a powerful gun, had a better designed turret, lower profile, and solved many of the Challenger's weaknesses. Almost overnight, the Challenger became yesterday's solution. Only around 200 were built. A tiny production run compared to other wartime tanks. Most military vehicles are remembered for being revolutionary. The Challenger wasn't. It was a compromise. A rushed answer to an urgent problem. A tank that looked awkward, arrived late, and spent its entire career living in the shadow of better designs. Yet when British crews needed a vehicle capable of stopping Panthers at long range, there was only one cruiser tank that could reliably do it. The strange-looking A-30 Challenger. The tank many called silly. Until the shooting started.